All right, the Browns is a pretty impressive team to watch here. Defensively, they've held over half their teams to less than 16 points. The two guys on the edge. Hard to imagine them being better than what we saw last week, but they probably are. Garrett's about as good as they get. And Clowney's, we know what he is. So it starts there. They really do a good job defensively. Coach Woods has a very disruptive defense, and at all three levels, really. The front, secondary, obviously Ward. So they're hard to. They create a lot of problems on defense. Put it that way. Offensively, again, it's a lot of outstanding players. Certainly the skilled players with Chubb to Landry to the tight ends to Peoples-Jones, Schwartz. A good depth at running back, Mayfield, and then a good line. With Bitonio, certainly one of the top guards that we played against, and they're good across the board there. So special teams, another good group of skill players, and they got three big guys, three linebackers, Wilson, Lee, and Takitaki that are really again as good as we'll see. So well balanced team. Coach Stefanski's a very aggressive coach. 18 fourth down snaps this year or something like that, whatever it is. It's a lot of them. Have to be ready to go on every down, every field position. Very good running team. They've really dominated the running game for most of the season, which has let them dominate time of possession and field position and so forth. So it's been a major edge for them. Turned the ball over a lot less than we saw them a few years ago. So a lot different there. But good football team, well balanced, all three phases of the game, well coached. Coach Callahan, Priefer, Woods, Stefanski, real good staff, experienced staff. These guys have a lot of good experience, and competed against all of them in the past, and they all are outstanding, especially Callahan. He probably does as good a job as anybody we face. He's put together a real good group of players, and they execute very, very efficiently, very good fundamentally, and excellent running team, good pass protection team as well. So big challenge for us this week. Try to go to a good start here today, and build some momentum through the week.
Bill, what's the mindset when heading into the week when the other team is battling a COVID situation? What's the mindset on your end?
Yeah, we can't control anything anybody else does, so let's try to control what we do and get ready to go. And it's like that every week. It's people on questionable, and they might play, they might not play. Nobody's been ruled out, so we'll be ready for whoever's there.
Do they change up what they do with their running game depending on the back that's in there, or are they pretty much interchangeable?
They do a good job each week with the running game. Some of it depends on their opponent. They set things up to gain advantageous matchups or blocking angles, so forth. And Coach Callahan does a great job of that. But all their backs are good. They've all been productive. So I don't know. We'll have to see what they come up with. I'm not sure.
So how varied is their running game? I think because of Stefanski's history with Kubiak,
No, they do both. They got gap plays, they got zone plays, they got the mid zone plays, outside plays. The backs are really good, so the point of entry could be one place, the back could end up somewhere else. You got to do a good job across the board, and they usually get a couple guys win on their blocks, and so there's space in there somewhere. Tight ends do a good job, all of them. They use all three tight ends, and a fullback, and 11 personnel. So they kind of run And wherever they can attack you, wherever you don't match up well with them, then they'll exploit that.
Bill, is this the best offensive line you've faced so far this year?
Yeah, I mean, each line's a little bit different, and what they try to do is different. These guys are good.
Yesterday, the team activated Garrett off the pup list. What does he bring to the team, whether it be in meetings and in practice?
Yeah, well, we practiced the last 3 weeks, and I think that's trending in a good direction. So, we'll see how it goes. And depth at that position is always important.
And with Byron Cowart, will he be coming off at any point?
He won't be.
Bill, what makes Myles Garrett so effective?
Everything. Power, explosion, speed, instincts. They do it all. Just got tremendous skill set. Smart player, very instinctive player. Reacts extremely quickly. He's as tough a matchup as there is in the league.
You mentioned they use their tight ends well. Looks like they'll use all three at once.
Yeah, more than any. Yeah, a lot. That's their lead formation.
How is that difficult to prepare for? I know you guys have, you have your fair share of tight ends as well, but it feels like that's not a common grouping across the league.
Yeah, I agree. It's sometimes it plays like 13, sometimes it plays like 12, sometimes it plays like 21, sometimes it plays like 11. There's a decent amount of empty out of it, so they do a lot of things with it, and they just don't sit there and line up everybody right next to each other. Well, they do that some is close formations, but they can go from, like I said, 1 open to 2 open to 3 open to 5 open. So you have to be ready across the board. And all tight ends can run and catch. And they use fullback in there with some, call it 22, but sometimes 13 plays like 22 with Brian in the backfield. So a lot to get ready for.
What challenges do they present in the screen game?
Really good screen team, yeah. Screened everybody, screened the back, screened the tight ends, probably the most tight end screens we've seen. Tear screens of receivers. When Felton was in there, he was a big part of that too. Screens, RPOs, bubble passes, and just kind of same ideas. So, yeah, not sure what his status was, but he's another guy that is part of that type of offensive attack. So yeah, when you combine it all, it shows up multiple times every game, some fashion.
Clowney's bounced around a little bit since he left Houston, but it seems like he's kind of settled into a good role in Cleveland. What do you see from him when you watch him this season?
Yeah, big, long, powerful, disruptive. It's a hard guy to deal with. Always has been.
With a couple of running backs are down to start the week, will you guys bring in more depth from the practice squad at that position?
We'll monitor it, see how it goes.
Bill, you feel like there's a shift happening actually a little bit earlier in the year about, maybe some trends shifting on the defensive side, but you're just kind of looking at some of the top scoring teams in football. There's a lot of teams that use 2 tight ends. You guys are up there. Dallas is up there. The Browns, I think, are right behind you guys. Tennessee. Are you noticing that the teams are more willing to invest at that position for some reason?
I think it's been going that way for quite a while. If you have them, they give you more formation versatility than any other position. If you don't have them, you can't manufacture them. So it's a hard position to find, but if you have them, they create formational problems, and they create mismatches in the running game and the passing game. And they give you a lot of formation options, a lot of protection options, a lot of play action options, a lot of blocking combinations, schemes. Even on zone plays, there's still an extra guy there that can, he builds another gap however you form it. So, doubt there's too many offensive coaches that couldn't use a good tight end or wouldn't use them. So.
Bill, yesterday Jarvis said saying it's a pleasant surprise to him to see Dante play as well, just not knowing with the uncertainty of him taking a year off. Would you use that same pleasant surprise description to apply to Brandon Bolden and all that he's kind of given you here?
Yeah, Brandon's had a good year for us. High's had a good year. So, yeah, they've both come in and done a good job. Glad we have them. They've really made big contributions to the team. They're both versatile, and they can handle a lot of different things. High on all 3 downs, and Brandon on all 4 downs. So they contribute in a lot of different ways. But yeah, glad we have them. They've both done a good job.
Bill, is there, JC's obviously had a lot of production on the ball, really, since he's gotten to the league. Is there a physical skill set that he has that's exceptional, that allows him to make those kinds of plays?
Yeah, I think his ball skills and anticipation are pretty good, high end. Yeah.
And just when you say ball skills, is that?
It's everything. It's when to look, picking up the ball. I mean, a lot of times his back's to the ball when it leaves the quarterback's hand. So, like the interception he had against the Jets, plays like that where, like a receiver coming out of his break, but you're a defender trying to cover the receiver and then find the ball and be able to catch it, get his feet down in bounds, play like that. I mean, that's pretty good play. But he tracks the ball well in the deep part of the field, anticipates well.
So we were asking Josh about Mack and his progress, and he mentioned, there have been periods in the last couple of games, maybe where I think he called it a dead period. The offense just wasn't doing, what it's designed to do, what he wants it to do. How have you seen Mack sort of handle that in game, and are you satisfied with the way he's bounced back from maybe some lulls during the course of the game?
Yeah, I think Mack's well prepared. Things come up in the game. Sometimes they have to make adjustments or changes. He adapts to them pretty quickly. There's 11 guys out there, so try to get everybody doing the right thing to move the ball productively. That's not the easiest thing to do in this league, but that's what we have to do. Sometimes you run into problems and you have to work through them, whether it's at every position, all 11. So, and sometimes there's a play calling adjustment you have to make, or blocking scheme, or a protection adjustment, or whatever. So I mean, there's a lot of moving parts there, and ultimately try to get as many of them working as consistently and efficiently as you can. If there's a problem, then you try to fix it.
Is he
2 final questions.
Is he advanced in his ability to come to the sidelines, look at the surface, talk to Josh, and then be able to make those corrections quickly?
Yeah, I think he does a good job of that. I mean, we do that in practice. We don't have any pictures in practice, so we just run plays and talk about them and have to fix them. That's part of coaching, is to be able to recognize what happened, communicate it to the player hear it, understand it, and execute it better the next time. So, yeah, that's what coaching is. That's what playing is.
Final question?
Bill, there was a team-produced video from the locker room last week after you won in Carolina, where you said it was your best week of preparation from the players. Beyond just good practices, what made you feel that way that you saw throughout the week to say that was the best week yet they've had in preparation?
Yeah, I think it was a collective thing. Just what they, collectively, how they went about it. Meetings, practice, some before and after things, on the field, off the field. Just thought they put a lot into it. And, there were some good results that went with it. Not one individual specific thing, but just collectively. I think that's really what you need, is everybody doing it. I mean, one guy can do it, might help him. It would help him. But when you multiply that by, a big number, then I think that's where you really see those kind of results. So.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, great. Thank you.
Thank you.